welcome to my YouTube channel. Today I'll be talking about some common terminologies used in the game of chess, such as checkmate, check, ampersand, castling. We have the long castling and the short castling. So if you have your pen and paper, you can actually write them down. So let's get started. Firstly, let's talk about ampersand. Ampersand is just a technique of capturing whereby if you are in the fifth row and your opponent pass 2 steps side over you, you can be able to capture him. Or if your opponent is in the fifth row, let me show you. For example, this 1 2 3 4 5. So this is the fifth row where I say you are in the fifth row. So this is the fifth row for me, and this 2 3 4 5, this is the fifth row for my opponent. So let's get into the game and let me show you how it's being done. Now let's say I make this move, and let's say my opponent make this move, and let's say I come to the fifth row, and let's say my opponent come here. Now from here I can be able to come here and take this pawn. It is referred to as ampersand. Let me show you. So I can be able to come here. So this is just ampersand. So let's see the other one. Let's see the other one. Let's say my opponent is okay, let's say I play here, let's say my opponent comes here, and let's say I come here, and let's say my opponent comes here, and let's say I make 2 steps, so my opponent can be able to come here to ampersand the pawn. So boom, that is simply ampersand. So let's go to the next one, which is castling. So let's say I move here, and let's say my opponent move here. So castling is just a technique, or it's just a move that safeguards the king. It protects the king more. You hear people talk about castling, and castling has principles. Castling only happens when there's no peace in between the king and the rook, and then there's nothing threatening any of the square in between the king and the rook, and the king is not under check. That is the only time you can castle. For example, let's say my bishop is out, let's say my knight is also out. Now you can notice that there's a space in between my king and my rook, and there's nothing attacking it. There's no pawn here. There's no pawn here. This is my pawn. Of course, there's no other external pawn that's attacking this square, so I can actually castle. Like this. So this is called the short castling. And then similarly as well, we also have a long castling. Let's say I come here, let's say white comes here, let's say he plays here, let's say I come here, let's say he comes here, let's say I come here. So yes, this is called the long castling. You can see 3 squares in between, and here you can see 2 squares in between. So let's say he comes here, so I can also castle like this. This long castling. So that is castling for you. So let's talk about which other one did I see? Let's talk about check. Check is when the king is under threat, and checkmate is when the king has been captured. So for example, let's say this move, let's say I play this move, let's say white comes here, let's say I come here. Now you can see check, because this bishop is attacking the king, so the king is under threat. This is called a check. So the king can actually block. So had it been the king doesn't have anywhere to block, it's considered a checkmate. So let's say, for example, let's say I come here, let's say this king comes here, let's say let's say this king, let's say he comes here, yes, let's say I come here, let's say he comes here, let's say I come here, let's say he comes here, so let's say I come here. So this is a checkmate because the king doesn't have any legal square to go. So that's it. Please like, share and subscribe. Bye bye. Good morning.